Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Luana English Podcast. I'm Luana, and I am so excited to be here with you today. How is everyone doing?
Hi, Luana. I'm doing great, thank you. Ready to dive into another deep topic today.
Me too. And today's topic is something that touches every single one of us. Every time we pick up our phones or open a laptop, we're talking about privacy in the 2020s. Specifically, who owns your data, and at the end of the day, does it really matter?
It's a huge question, Luana. We live in a world where free apps aren't actually free. We pay with our information.
Exactly. So if you've ever felt like your phone was listening to you because you saw an ad for something you just talked about, this episode is for you. Let's get started. So, Josimar, let's start with the basics. Yesterday, I was looking for a new pair of running shoes online. I didn't even buy them. I just looked. 10 minutes later, I opened my social media and boom, there they were. Every second post was an ad for those exact shoes. It felt a bit creepy, don't you think?
It definitely feels like magic sometimes, but it's actually just big data at work. You see, Luana, most of the services we use, like search engines or social networks, don't charge us money. Instead, they collect our digital footprint.
Digital footprint. I like that term. It's like the tracks we leave in the sand, right?
Exactly. Every time you like a photo, search for a recipe, or even stay on a web page for more than 5 seconds, you're leaving a trail. Companies collect this data to build a profile of who you are, what you like, and most importantly, what you are likely to buy.
But here's the thing that bothers me. Who actually owns that trail? If it's my information about my life, shouldn't I own it?
That is the million-dollar question. Legally, when we click I agree on those long terms and conditions, which, let's be honest, nobody reads, we are often giving these companies permission to use our data. In a way, they own the right to use it, even if the data is about us.
I'm guilty of that. I just scroll to the bottom and click accept because I want to use the app immediately. But Josimar, some people say, I have nothing to hide, so I don't care if they have my data. What do you think about that?
I hear that a lot, but privacy isn't just about having secrets, it's about autonomy. If a company knows your health history, your political views, and your financial habits, they can influence your decisions without you even realizing it. They can show you specific news or prices that nudge you in a certain direction.
That's a bit scary. It's like being manipulated behind the scenes.
Precisely. And then there's the risk of data breaches. Even if you trust a company, they might get hacked. Suddenly, your private info is out in the wild.
So what can we do? Is it even possible to stay private in 2026?
It's hard to be 100% invisible, but we can definitely tighten up our security, using things like a VPN, being careful about what we share publicly, and actually checking our privacy settings once in a while.
I think I need to go through my settings tonight. It feels like we've traded our privacy for convenience. Okay, Josimar, that was a lot to think about. But before we get too worried, let's look at some of the language we used. You used a great phrasal verb earlier, to look into.
Right. I said we should look into our privacy settings. In this context, look into means to investigate or examine something carefully. For B1, B2 learners, this is much more natural than saying, I will investigate my settings.
Good one. And I noticed we used a lot of conditionals today. For example, if you've ever felt like your phone was listening, this episode is for you.
Yes, that's a zero conditional, used for general truths. But we also used the second conditional. If I had more time, I would read the terms and conditions.
But we know you wouldn't, Josimar.
True, but remember, we use the second conditional for hypothetical or unlikely situations. If I were a hacker, I would look for easy passwords. It's a great way to talk about possibilities in the digital world.
One more thing, data. Is it singular or plural? I always get confused.
Technically, in formal or scientific English, data is the plural of datum. So you would say the data are showing. However, in everyday conversation and even in tech, almost everyone treats it as an uncountable noun, like water or information. So the data is stored on a server is perfectly fine and very common.
Let's wrap up with our top 5 words and expressions from today's episode. Josimar, do you want to start?
Sure. 1. Digital footprint, noun, the information about a particular person that exists on the internet as a result of their online activity. Example, you should be careful about your digital footprint when applying for a new job.
I'll take the next one. 2. Creepy, adjective, something that causes an unpleasant feeling of fear or unease, weird in a scary way. Example, it's a bit creepy how that website knew exactly what I was talking about with my mom.
3. Data breach, noun, an incident where protected or private data is viewed, stolen, or used by an unauthorized person. Example, the bank notified its customers about a major data breach that happened last month.
4. To nudge, verb, to push someone gently or to encourage someone to do something in a subtle way. Example, the app uses notifications to nudge users into exercising more often.
And 5. To trade something for something, idiom or phrase, to give up one thing in order to get another. Example, many people are willing to trade their privacy for the convenience of using free maps.
Well, that's all for today's episode of the Luana English Podcast. We hope this gave you some food for thought about your own data.
Definitely. It's a digital world, but you are still in the driver's seat of your own privacy.
Your call to action for today, go into the settings of one app you use every day and see what permissions you've given it. You might be surprised.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye.